Guys, welcome back to the Law of Cassidy. Yes, we are doing another quickie episode today, and it's just me. So I want to talk about something today. Many people have kind of like checked in, like maybe seen some stuff I've shared. And I think it'd be funny because I'm always like in the DM sharing stuff. I'm like, I think it would be funny through my healing process I've been through the beginning of this year until now. And I had like this really cool oracle session, which we can talk a little bit about too. There were things that I would just like save, send to someone, like compartmentalize. And I'm like, you know what? Let's break down all this stuff because it's going to help someone. Like it helped me. So I'm going to get into it. So I saw like there's a lot of stuff on the internet that you see and you're like, man, I relate with this. So that's kind of what this episode is going to be, is like stuff I've seen on the actual internet. Today we're going to talk about healing, the real kind, not the inspirational garb, okay? The kind that happens when you're still in the middle of it and you're not sure what's on the other side. I actually had a girlfriend say to me on the phone the other day, she's like, when I went through my divorce, somebody said to me, like, you have to heal through it. And I am so grateful for the people that know who they are, that are still in my life or in my life right now, that have given me a space to heal through some of the darkest, like friendship breakups, betrayals, things I would have never imagined, and just letting me heal through it, letting me break down in a grocery store parking lot, sobbing my eyes out and answering their phone to just like be there for me. And like, I think that's what's wrong with the world today, is so many people don't heal through their stuff and they just shove it. And you're not going to get better. You're not going to be able to grow and become the person you're meant to be if you don't actually heal through your shit. So this is a quickie, and welcome back, late vein ones. Let's go. These are maybe quotes I've shared, things I've related with, funny ones, and hopefully this makes you laugh or like helps you get through it. So this one was a sound, and I was like, man, that is hitting, that is slapping hard. Okay. So it says, God, please don't change my heart. I'm really broken in this season, but that has been my prayer. I don't want my heart to change. So how many of you have been through a situation where you're devastated, like you're heartbroken, and you can't wrap your brain around doing something like this to someone else, but you literally are like, please don't change my heart. Like, please don't make me bitter. Please don't make me this same way that the person was that hurt me. So it says, I don't want my heart to change. I don't want my optimism to change. I don't want to start seeing the glass half empty. And I'm trying so hard to not be bitter and angry, but I'm broken right now. So I think there's someone listening who needed to hear that. And I'm here to tell you that like that sound, when I saw it on Instagram, like I was like, that is so me. Because in these moments where people hurt you, people betray you, people that you think are going to be your people, like just, it's devastating. And then you just don't understand it. And then you almost find yourself in this revenge, like vindictive, like screw the world. No. Okay. So this is definitely like just allowing space for having those feelings, but not allowing it to change who you are. That's the win for sure. Okay. So here's some more 7 truths about healing. So these are like quotes. We're going to just kind of like dig through them. So I haven't felt myself lately. I must be growing. That one definitely was saved in my favorites because it like stopped me cold and I didn't fully understand this picture until I had my oracle session. Like I said, we'll get into it in a minute, but I think sometimes when you are in a very dark place because people have hurt you, betrayed you, left you, all the things, we just sit in that black tar of sadness instead of realizing this is like a divine redirection. Okay. So if you haven't felt like yourself, you feel like you're losing people that are your people, you're feeling like things aren't going your way, you can sit in that tar, or you can repeat to yourself, I'm leveling up, I'm growing, I'm shifting into a new divine redirection. I know I sound like a woo-woo, but here we are. Okay. So, because we're so conditioned to believe that not feeling like ourselves is an actual problem, you guys, a sign that something is wrong, that we need to fix it or get back to normal as fast as possible. But what if not feeling like yourself is part of the process? I'm looking back on everything I have navigated through in the last 2 years, and I firmly believe that. So a caterpillar doesn't feel like a butterfly, you guys. In the cocoon, it feels like nothing, dissolved, unrecognizable, not itself, and it becomes something it never imagined it was going to become. So if you don't feel like yourself right now, you might be becoming who you actually are. So don't rush it and embrace, like I said, like my girlfriend said, like you have to heal through it. And normally those dark times are because you're growing. So love that. Okay. God, please don't. Oh, I already went over that one. We're going to skip that one. Okay. Giving myself a round of applause. This is a funny one. I saw this and I was like, yes, because I'm a very reactive person. I'm very blunt. I'm very forward facing. If there's a problem, I'm not going to go and talk to 17 people about it. I'm actually going to come to you because we're going to hash this out. And people love that or they hate it. Call me direct. You get what you see with me. Who you see on the internet and who you see in the person, I am the same human. Like people that like have never met me before, meet me in public, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you are really the same." I am. I don't have it in me to be anything but who I am. So, this quote says, "Giving myself a round of applause instead of punching them in the face." We're going to slow clap for that because I saw that and I was like, "Man, go me." Okay? So, let's talk about growth for a second, because sometimes growth looks like choosing not to do the thing you really wanted to do, or saying the thing you really wanted to say, or sending the text you really wanted to send. Do you know how many texts I have written out in the last 2 months and they never got sent? Okay. And sometimes choosing the high road is the hardest option, and it will be the hardest thing you've ever done in your life. And most people don't see it. Nobody applauds it. Nobody gives you credit for the restraint it took. The world only sees like the outcome, the graceful response, the silence, the dignity. They don't see like the internal war that you had to go through. So that's why I loved this quote. So I have started applauding myself quietly in my own head for every time I choose better. I don't respond. I don't engage in their complete and utter fucking madness. And I don't punch them in the face. So everybody give yourself a round of applause. You earned it. Go you. This is another good one. No revenge, because every time someone tried to kill my spark, the universe blessed me with more, which this will just come back to that oracle session, which I'll tap into. But literally every time someone has tried to dim me, every time someone has tried to tear something down or take something from me or convince me I was less than I was, something came back in its place and it was bigger and better and way more aligned. So I don't know if that's God, your woo-woo, whatever you believe, okay? I don't know if it's the universe. I don't know if it's just the natural consequences of crazy resilient psycho people like myself who get the shit beat out of them and they just keep going. But I'm here to tell you that's just what happens. And it might take a year, and it might take 4 years, or it might happen in a couple weeks. I've seen all versions show up. So I've really stopped wanting revenge because not because like what happened was okay, but because my energy is better spent on what's next versus on what was. So revenge keeps you connected to the thing that hurt you. Building sets you free. So let the universe handle it, and it always handles. It always does. Mic drop. The karmic circle, full circle, always. So go build something. Okay. This one's also good. You guys, I hope you're liking this. This is just things I've saved. Sorry, my nose is itching. What am I allergic to? Okay. Must be hard seeing me like this after how hard you tried to break me. So this one is not for everyone. This one is specifically for the person listening who has been underestimated. Hi, my entire, I feel like life, I have been underestimated. Who has been dismissed, who has had someone in their life work actively to make them smaller and watch them fail. Like There is something extraordinary about standing after someone tried to ensure that you wouldn't. And I feel like I am the queen of this. Like, there has been so many things. People reporting accounts, people taking my website domains, like people, collaborating with crappy humans to throw it in my face. I've seen it all. And in all reality, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to confront. You don't have to, it is what it is. Like, your existence is the statement. You continued building is the answer. So your life lived fully, publicly, unapologetically, authentically, is the response everyone who's betting against you, tried to take you down. I don't actively block people because I'm like, my life's pretty cool and you get to watch. And that is its own, here you go. Okay. So this one, might be too soon, but we're doing it anyways. Normalize ending friendships with people who still support people who have hurt you. I am sorry, but if you are aware of someone doing something so terrible, like trying to take someone's livelihood away, okay, and you still stay connected to that person, no. So it's going to make people uncomfortable, me saying this, but when someone hurts you, genuinely hurts you. And when I say genuinely hurts you, I'm talking tried to take something you built for 20 years away from you, affected your family, food on my table. Literally this person tried to take food off my table and this other human still befriended and supported when they knew about it. It's just gross behavior. Okay. That tells you something. That definitely is okay, misery loves company, clearly. So, they made a choice to support that person. There's something called ethics. I know. Dictionary 101. And it is okay for you to not want to collaborate because you know they did something to someone else. I do it all the time. If I know you were shady with someone, sorry. Nope, not working with you. It's a thing. But people who aren't authentic, aren't genuine, they're just shady humans that are just filled with greed. They don't know how to navigate that shit, apparently. So you're allowed to factor that in, and you can end your friendships with people who are supporting people who have hurt you. Please don't still be associated with those people. It's terrible that they chose to even be associated with the person that did that to you. It's insanity. So loyalty is not silence. Loyalty is not neutral. Sometimes loyalty requires a choice. And when the people in your life consistently choose comfort over truth, choose the relationship over the accountability, you are allowed to let that information inform how much access they have to you. If someone is choosing a relationship over accountability and they're literally making a choice to associate with a nasty human who tried to take food off your table, it's okay to end the friendship. Okay? You don't owe anyone your proximity just because history exists between you. Normalize it. Nope, that's going to be a no for me. That's a hard pass. Okay? So just update your circle accordingly. Trust me, you'll be blessed. Okay? And then this one too just hits so good. It says the disrespect at the end was louder than any good memory we ever had. And that is when I knew I was done. And this was so true for me. These people were in my life for over 10 years. Okay. And there was a lot of memories. There was a lot of family memories. There was a lot of friendship memory, a lot. But the disrespect at the end, which was so painful, so terrible, I just was I don't care about any memory at this point. There's a moment in some relationships, friendships, romantic, professional, family, where something happens at the end and it just ruins everything before it. So, and you realize that how someone leaves tells you who exactly they were the whole time. And I think that has been the hardest part in my healing process of this dynamic is the good memories. They don't disappear, but they get quiet because the ending was so loud and it drowned everything out. There's grief in that, real grief for the version of the relationship that you thought you had, for the person you thought they were. And it has taken a lot of therapy, a lot of woo-woo for me now. Like normally me talking about this, I'd be bawling, but I'm not because I've literally like healed. It's kind of weird because it's fresh. There's also clarity because you don't have to wonder anymore, right? You don't have to second guess. You don't have to keep the door open out of obligation to the fact that you were friends and there's this history. The ending told you what you needed to know. Believe it and be done. And I'm going to like validate that all day long. Okay. So I want to say one more thing before we get to the DMs and I share a little bit about my little oracle story. I don't know what you may be healing from right now. And I don't know if it's a friendship. I don't know if it's a relationship. I don't know if it's a loss, a betrayal, a season where you gave everything and got very little back. I felt all of that. And you know me, I like to come on here. It's like therapy for me to just kind of share because I'm very authentic. I'm very open. I'm very genuine. I mean, I'm not a complete asshole. I'm not going to like smear anybody's name, but I mean, you know. So just know that this broken season is actually not your whole story. It's a chapter, and the chapters that break us, like literally sever us open, are almost always the ones that change us most. Not into someone harder or more closed or more guarded, into someone who knows what they're made of, okay? You are finding out what you are made of right now, and from what I can tell, it's something worth keeping. So I went and I had this like oracle session with this girl named Gabby. She was amazing. Never met her in my life. And I'm not going to get too deep and personal because it's a little deep and personal. But there definitely was some childhood trauma work. I mean, I've been open about that. I was abused as a child, sexually abused by a family member. And I was age 4. And it's so funny because when I sat down, she said to me, she's like, I see a 4-year-old. And this woman didn't know me. She knew nothing about me. And she's like, I see your 4-year-old. And it was crazy because I sat down and I was like, she's like, why are you interested in this work? And I was like, I have been through a lot. I have lost a lot of people that I thought were my friends, that I thought were supporting me. And it's a cycle. Like it kept happening. And so I was like, okay, I am the like common denominator, guys. It's amazing what therapy can do for you. Accountability. So I'm like, I'm the common denominator here. So it must be me. And I'm trying to understand the pattern and the cycle and shift away from it. And I've done loads of therapy. And this recent one was pretty intense. And the way she explained it to me is I hadn't like worked through that childhood stuff. And she's like, you gotta let the 4-year-old know that you got it, right? Because like, she's like, I'm feeling very heavily that you are grown and you're mature and these things happen and you're over it and you don't want to deal with this cycle anymore. But what happens is when these things happen or you're getting in these relationships, the 4-year-old shows up wanting all those things and then it kind of shifts the whole thing and it makes the pattern happen again. So we went through a whole process of learning about this like drama cycle, like triangle thing. She taught me how to feel it in my body, to know if like a conversation or relationships it's building is like safe, if it's coming, from like a victim or a villain or like a hero dynamic. And a lot of the times where I've lost people is when I've really poured in the hero dynamic portion of it. And so now I know how to like navigate it. It was so cool. There's so much to talk about, but anyways, so then we went through that whole process because she wanted to teach me how to like feel those feels in my body and navigate through that. And then she was like, what is happening recently that's been so hard for you? And I explained a scenario and I like it devastated me, right? It was people that I thought were my people. And then there was like a collaboration with someone they knew who had hurt me like terribly, like tried to take my livelihood away. And I'm like, I just can't wrap my brain around this. Like, why is this happening? And she looked at me and she said, this is divine redirection. She's like, can I see, images of these people? So I showed her and she was like, what has happened here is like 11 lifetimes ago is what she told me, which is kind of crazy to think about. She's like, you chose this path that I chose, which is educating all of you, being open about intimacy, teaching you how to own your body, understand your body, own your pleasure, understand your partner's body. I chose this path light years ago, right? And this is not the easiest path. And she's like, you are literally healing a wound in every person. And it hit me. I was like, you know what? There is a sexual womb in every person. Like understanding their bodies, like embracing it, connection, like it is. And what I'm building is so big that it literally can help every single person. And she's like, and that's monumental. And she's like, and so the reason you've been going through all this hard stuff is because it's divine redirection, and the attachments or the people or the dynamics or the work or the connections cannot be attached to you, because what you're building is so big. It's so much love and light that these people were greed. Like they were heavy in greed. They were heavy in say one thing, do another. And she's like, and you chose this lifetimes ago. So the universe had to shove you out of that and give you a complete redirection, because those people are like just drowning in greed, and you're not building something with greed. You're building something with love. You're building something with light. She's like, it is going to be massive. She's like, it is going to be bigger than anything you could ever imagine. There was a lot more stuff said, but it just hit me that I was like, all of a sudden, I literally felt like 100 pounds was like lifted. Like I was like, I have carried this and beat myself up and like navigated this whole betrayal and hurt and like blindsiding, like people blocking me, deleting me as friends, like publicly, like just, it was terrible adult mean girl bullshit. And I couldn't let it go. And here I'm sitting in front of a stranger that doesn't know me, and she's telling me this is a divine redirection and these people are not my people and they're heavy in greed, and I have to lead into this love and light, and it's a redirection. And it was literally like, oh my God, she's right. And it's like me a week ago, kid you not, a week ago, couldn't sit here and not bawl my eyes out talking about this. And now it's like, I don't cry about it anymore, because I understand this was a divine redirection. Like this was like the universe, like leading me to everything I am building that is so massive. And those people can't be associated with. They are full of greed. They are full of yuck. They are. And before I was very much in the, what's wrong with me? Why are people embarrassed by me? And it's like, no, I'm just way bigger than that. So if you're struggling, hopefully the story is like helpful or like motivational, because that was like crazy. Like people that are close to me, are the ones that are left, but funny, would tell you like, I couldn't shake this. And then after this oracle session, like she good. It's funny. Okay. So confessions from the DMs. Let's dig into them. Cassidy, I'm trying so hard not to be bitter about after what someone did to me. I am failing every day. I wake up angry and don't know how to stop. I don't want to be this person. So the fact that you don't want to be bitter is the sign that keeps you from becoming it. Bitterness doesn't announce itself. It just quietly becomes the default when no one is tending to the wound underneath it. So what you're actually grieving, not the anger, underneath the anger, that's where the healing is. The anger is just the bodyguard standing in front of our real feeling. So find the real feeling and start there and heal through it. Like you gotta heal through it. And you gotta talk through it, and you gotta all the things, because that's the only way that I could. And trust me, there was a lot of talking through it. Okay. So something happened in my friend group and I ended up on the outside. People I've known for years chose the other side. I feel so alone and I don't know how to start over at this stage in my life. Starting over with friendships as adults is one of the loneliest things there is, especially when you've been hurt or betrayed. I completely feel this. Okay. And I want to validate that that is genuinely like hard and difficult. Okay. It's not a character flaw, not something you did wrong, just hard. The people who stayed when they had to choose something, they showed you who they really are. And just like I explained in my story, like greed, heavy with greed, heavy with say one thing, do another, don't know who they are, showing up like, you know, not real. Those aren't your people. And it's just always think that there is a reason I am being redirected. And mine was a divine redirection based off of what I'm building. So totally get it, valid, but you just got to work through it. Okay. So this week's Covet This, I am going to talk about this new device. It's called the Rihanna. It is badass. It is from Blush. It literally is like a vibrator, but it doesn't just vibrate. It literally like moves back and forth like this. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Go check it out on my website. It is literally like when you have like that stimulation happening like by a hand, but it's literally in a device. I've never seen it before. They're selling like hotcakes. They're super awesome. Absolutely love it. Okay. So wrapping this up, it's just kind of event session. Wanted to share a little bit of my oracle and my like healing dynamics so you guys could just like maybe learn something and maybe it helps you and make you realize that we're all human. Even somebody like me, like I go through some shit and I have gone through some shit, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. There always is. And it's important to talk through and heal through it. So Law of Cassidy is when you're feeling broken, but you're choosing to stay open anyway, not because it's easy, because I refuse to let what happened to me change who I am. And there's been a lot. Guys, I could write a book. I could do 40 podcast episodes. Okay. So the broken season is not the last season. The disrespect and the end did not erase who you were before it. The people who tried to break you do not get to decide what you become. Okay. You do. So stay soft, stay open, lead with love and light. And the universe is actually paying attention, and it has never once let your spark go unnoticed. And that's the law. Like divine redirection. I've never had someone say it to me like that. And I've also never had somebody embrace what I'm building the way that she did. And it just opened my eyes to everything that I chose to heal people's sexual womb, and everyone has it. And I am literally like delivering that. And that's a big thing to carry. And so I have to be surrounded by the right people that understand the big, support the big, love the big, and are here to help me navigate through it. So that's your quickie. And if this one hit you, I need you to DM me, not because I have answers, because I think we need to know we're not alone in our broken seasons, and we all have that. So send this to a friend who is quietly falling apart while pretending everything is fine. They need it more than they'll admit. I love you, vain ones, and I mean that. I'm Cassidy. This is the Law of Cassidy, and I'll see you next week.